I was in the kitchen with Lily, teaching her how to make chocolate chip cookies. She was 8 years old, flour dusted across her nose, laughing as she tried to crack eggs without getting shells in the bowl. This was our routine: Saturday baking, homework on Sundays, library trips on Tuesdays. "I'll get it," I said, wiping my hands on a towel. I opened the door to find my brother, Nathan, standing on the porch. He looked different, older, obviously, well-dressed in an expensive suit. A woman stood beside him, tall and elegant in designer clothes, her hand resting possessively on his arm. 8 years. 8 years since I'd seen him. "Megan," Nathan said, as if no time had passed at all, "we need to talk." My heart started pounding, but I kept my face neutral. "About what?" "About my daughter." The woman smiled, extending her hand. "I'm Victoria, Nathan's wife. We've heard so much about Lily." I didn't take her hand. "Lily's busy right now." "Aunt Meg, who is it?" Lily's voice came from the kitchen, curious and happy. Nathan moved forward. "That's her. God, she's gotten so big." I blocked the doorway. "You should have called first." "I tried. You didn't answer." That was true. I'd seen his number 3 times over the past week and ignored every call. "Look, can we come in? We've driven 4 hours to get here." Against my better judgment, I stepped aside. They entered, Victoria's eyes scanning the living room, taking in the toys in the corner, the drawings on the refrigerator, the photos covering every wall. 8 years of life. 8 years Nathan had missed. Lily appeared in the kitchen doorway, curious. She saw Nathan and stopped, her smile fading. She didn't recognize him. Why would she? She'd been 3 days old the last time she saw him. "Lily," Nathan said, his voice strange and emotional. "Sweetheart, it's me. It's your dad." Lily moved closer to me, her small hand finding mine. "I don't have a dad." "Of course you do, honey." Victoria's voice was sweet but condescending. "Every little girl has a daddy, and we're here to take you home." "I am home," Lily said quietly. I squeezed her hand. "Lily, why don't you go finish the cookies? I need to talk to these people." She hesitated, looking up at me with worried eyes. "Are they going to take me away?" "No one's taking you anywhere. I promise." She nodded slowly and went back to the kitchen, but I could see her watching us through the doorway. Nathan sat on the couch without being invited. Victoria joined him, crossing her legs elegantly. "We should explain," she said. "Yes, please do explain." I remained standing. "Explain why you're here after 8 years. Explain why you think you can walk into my home and call my daughter yours." "She is mine," Nathan said. "Biologically. Legally." "Legally?" I almost laughed. "You abandoned her at the hospital, Nathan. You signed her over to me when she was 3 days old." "I was 23 years old. I just lost my wife. I wasn't ready to be a single father." His voice cracked slightly. "You don't know what it was like, seeing Lily and knowing Sarah died bringing her into the world." "I know exactly what it was like because I was there. I held your hand while Sarah was dying. I was the one who sat with you in the hospital room. And I was the one who stayed when you walked away." Victoria placed her hand on Nathan's knee. He was grieving. He made a mistake, but he's better now. We're better. We're ready to be parents. Ready to be parents, I repeated slowly. "After 8 years." "Yes," Victoria smiled, as if this were reasonable. "We've been married for 2 years. We have a beautiful home in Connecticut, 4 bedrooms, a pool, excellent schools nearby. Lily would have everything she needs." "She has everything she needs here." "With all due respect, Megan, you're a single woman working as a nurse. You live in a rental house. You drive a 12-year-old Honda." Victoria's tone suggested she thought she was being kind by pointing this out. "We can offer Lily so much more: opportunities, travel, the best education money can buy. She's happy here." "She'd be happy with us too," Nathan said. "She's my daughter. I have rights." "You gave up those rights 8 years ago." "No, I gave you temporary guardianship. That's not the same thing." My stomach dropped. "What are you talking about?" Nathan pulled papers from his jacket pocket. "I never terminated my parental rights. I just gave you permission to make decisions for Lily while I got my life together. Now my life is together. Victoria and I want to be a family. We want Lily back." Victoria leaned forward. "We've already spoken with a lawyer. Nathan has every legal right to reclaim custody of his biological daughter. We're trying to do this nicely to give you time to prepare her. But make no mistake, Lily will be coming to live with us. I looked at Nathan, my younger brother, the man I'd supported through Sarah's pregnancy, through her death, through his breakdown. The man who'd handed me a 3-day-old baby and said, "I can't do this," before walking out of the hospital. "Why now?" I asked quietly. "I told you, we're ready to be parents." "No. Why exactly now? What changed?" Nathan and Victoria exchanged a glance. There was something they weren't saying. "It's just time," Nathan said. "I've been thinking about Lily for years. Missing her. Wanting to be her father." "You've had 8 years to be her father. You could have visited, called, sent birthday cards. You did none of those things." I needed space to heal. Space to heal, or space to forget. Victoria stood up, her pleasant demeanor cracking slightly. "Look, we're trying to be reasonable here. We could just show up with a court order. We're giving you the courtesy of a warning." How generous. "We'll be back next week," Nathan said, standing as well, "to pick her up. We'll give you time to help her pack, say goodbye. You're not taking her." "Megan, don't make this harder than it needs to be." They moved toward the door. Victoria paused. "Oh, and you should know, Nathan's mother, our mother, passed away 3 months ago." "I know. I was at the funeral." "You weren't." "Yes, well, we were in Europe. But the estate has been settled. Did you know Mom left her entire estate to her only grandchild? Lily inherits everything when she turns 18. The house, the investments, everything. About $7 million. And there it was. The real reason. Get out of my house." "We'll see you next week," Victoria said pleasantly. "Start preparing Lily. It'll be easier on everyone if she's ready to transition." After they left, I locked the door and leaned against it, my hands shaking. Lily appeared from the kitchen, her face pale. "Are they really going to take me away?" "No, baby, no one's taking you anywhere." But I wasn't sure I could keep that promise. Monday morning, I called my lawyer, Patricia Chen. We'd worked together before, on the guardianship paperwork 8 years ago. "Tell me you have good news," I said after explaining the situation. Patricia was quiet for a long moment. "Did Nathan actually terminate his parental rights?" "I thought he did. We signed papers at the hospital." "Those were temporary guardianship papers. They gave you legal authority to make decisions for Lily, but they didn't terminate Nathan's rights as her biological father. To do that, he would have had to go before a judge, have a hearing. Did that happen?" "No. I assumed. I thought since he surrendered her to me." "Surrender isn't the same as termination." "Megan, this is complicated. If Nathan wants to challenge the guardianship, and if he can prove he's stable and capable now, a court might grant him custody. After 8 years, after abandoning her? The law favors biological parents. It's not fair, but it's reality. We have to prove that giving him custody isn't in Lily's best interests." "It's not. She doesn't even know him." "I believe you, but we need to build a case. I need documentation. Everything. School records, medical records, therapy notes if she's in therapy. I need proof you've been her primary caregiver. And Megan, we need to act fast. If he files for custody, we need to be ready to fight. Do it. Whatever it takes." Patricia hesitated. "There's one more thing. You mentioned an inheritance?" "My mother's estate, $7 million. It goes to Lily when she's 18. "Who's the trustee?" "I am. But will name me as trustee since I have guardianship." That might be what this is really about. If Nathan gets custody, he could petition the court to become trustee instead. He wouldn't get direct access to the money, but he'd control how it's managed, what expenses are covered. That's powerful motivation. So what do? We file for adoption, full legal adoption. If a judge grants it, Nathan's biological connection becomes irrelevant. You become Lily's legal mother in every sense. His parental rights would be permanently terminated. How long does that take? Usually 6 to 12 months, but given the circumstances, we can request an emergency hearing. We'll argue that Nathan abandoned Lily, that he's only returning for financial reasons, and that Lily's well-being requires permanency. Do it. That week, Patricia filed the adoption petition. She also filed a motion to block any custody changes until the adoption hearing could take place. We attached 8 years of documentation, every doctor's appointment I'd taken Lily to, every parent-teacher conference, every birthday party, every scraped knee, every nightmare I'd comforted. Nathan fought back. His lawyer filed a motion to dismiss the adoption petition, arguing that Nathan had never intended to permanently relinquish Lily, that he'd been temporarily incapacitated by grief, and that he had every right to parent his biological daughter now that he was stable. The emergency hearing was scheduled for 3 weeks later. Those 3 weeks were hell. Lily became anxious and clingy. She had nightmares about being taken away by strangers. I took her to her therapist twice a week. Dr. Morrison wrote a letter for our case, stating that removing Lily from the only home she'd ever known would be psychologically damaging. Nathan called 6 times. I didn't answer. He showed up at Lily's school. The principal called me, and I had to add him to the list of people not authorized to pick her up. Victoria sent messages through social media, sweet and threatening by turns. Finally, the hearing arrived. Judge Williams was a woman in her 50s with sharp eyes and no patience for nonsense. She listened as Nathan's lawyer painted a picture of a grieving young father who'd made a mistake, who'd spent years rebuilding his life, who was now ready to be the parent his daughter deserved. Then Patricia stood up. "Your Honor, Mr. Thompson didn't make a mistake. He made a choice. He chose to walk away from a 3-day-old baby. He chose not to call, not to visit, not to send birthday cards. For 8 years, he chose absence. The only reason he's here now is money." She pulled out documents, phone records showing Nathan had never called, bank records showing he'd never sent child support, and most damning, an email from Victoria to a friend, uncovered during discovery. Patricia read it aloud. "We found out about Nathan's daughter's inheritance last month. $7 million. If we can get custody, Nathan becomes trustee. We could finally pay off his business debts and buy the house in Aspen we've been wanting." Nathan's face went white. Victoria looked furious. "Mr. Thompson," Judge Williams said coldly, "did you know about this inheritance when you decided you wanted custody?" Nathan's lawyer jumped in. "Your Honor, the motivation doesn't matter. Mr. Thompson has biological rights. The motivation absolutely matters when we're determining the best interest of the child." She turned to me. "Ms. Thompson, I've reviewed your documentation, 8 years of medical records, school enrollment, therapy notes. You've been this child's mother in every way that matters." She looked at Lily, who sat beside me holding my hand. "Young lady, do you know why you're here today?" Lily nodded, her voice small. "The man says he's my dad and wants to take me away." "Is that what you want?" "No, I want to stay with Mom." She squeezed my hand tighter. "She's my real mom. She's always been my mom." Judge Williams reviewed the papers in front of her. The courtroom was silent except for the sound of pages turning. "Mr. Thompson, you abandoned your infant daughter 8 years ago. You provided no financial support. You made no contact. Your sister stepped into the role of parent and has fulfilled that role admirably. Your sudden interest in custody coincides suspiciously with your discovery of a substantial inheritance." She looked up. "I'm granting Ms. Thompson's adoption petition. Her parental rights are hereby established." "Mr. Thompson, your parental rights are terminated. You will have no custody, no visitation, and no authority over the trust fund. This child has a mother, and it's not you." Nathan stood up. "You can't do this. She's my daughter." "She was your daughter. You gave her up." Ms. Thompson raised her. "Now she's legally Ms. Thompson's daughter. This hearing is concluded." Nathan and Victoria left the courtroom in angry silence. I heard later that they divorced 6 months after that, once Victoria realized there was no money coming. Nathan tried to appeal the decision, but his lawyer eventually told him it was hopeless. The adoption became final 30 days later. I had Lily's birth certificate amended, her last name officially changed to Thompson, matching mine. Her original birth certificate was sealed. As far as the law was concerned, I was her mother, not her aunt, not her guardian, her mother. That evening, we celebrated with chocolate chip cookies, the same recipe we'd been making the day Nathan showed up. Lily helped me mix the dough, flour on her nose like always. "Mom," she said quietly. "Yes, baby? Am I really yours now, like forever?" "Forever and always. No one can change that." She smiled, the worried look finally leaving her eyes. "Good, because you're the only mom I want." I hugged her tight. This child I'd chosen, this daughter who'd been handed to me in a hospital room 8 years ago by a brother who couldn't handle the responsibility. Nathan had given birth to her, but I had raised her, fed her, comforted her, taught her, loved her through every moment of every day. He was her biological father, but I was her mother. And no amount of money would ever change that.